Fluent English Power brings you the full truth behind the Air India crash, what really happened, and how one man survived against all odds. On June 12, 2025, India witnessed one of its most heartbreaking aviation disasters in recent history. Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner, was scheduled to fly from Ahmedabad to London with 254 people on board, including 242 passengers and 12 crew members. But just minutes after takeoff, tragedy struck. The aircraft crashed near the city, smashing into the student hostel building of a local medical college. This horrific accident claimed 241 lives, including passengers, crew, and people on the ground. Only one person survived the crash. Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, a young man who was sitting on seat 11A, close to the emergency exit. His story of survival is nothing short of a miracle. The flight took off from Ahmedabad airport at 1:38 p.m. According to eyewitness reports and initial radar data, the plane started losing altitude within seconds of becoming airborne. It crashed barely a minute later, exploding into flames and collapsing part of a hostel building nearby. The crash site was filled with debris, thick smoke, and the cries of shocked residents and rescue workers. Over 29 people on the ground, including students inside the building, were also killed. Emergency services, fire teams, and NDRF units rushed to the site, but the destruction was already beyond measure. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Gujarat's Chief Minister visited the crash site and offered their condolences to the grieving families. The most astonishing part of this tragedy was the survival of one man. Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, who had boarded the flight to visit relatives in the UK, was seated near an emergency exit. He suffered serious injuries but managed to pull himself out of the broken aircraft. In an emotional statement to the press, he said, "I thought I would die. I was surrounded by fire and metal, but somehow I crawled out." His story of survival has shocked experts and touched millions of hearts across India and beyond. As the nation mourned, investigations began immediately. Authorities recovered the aircraft's black box data recorders within 24 hours. These boxes hold crucial information about the flight path, system failures, and crew conversations. Preliminary reports suggest a possible dual-engine failure. The emergency ram air turbine, RAT, may have been activated shortly before the crash, indicating a major power failure. Officials also mentioned that one engine had been recently replaced in March 2025, while the other was due for servicing in December. Both engines had previously passed safety checks, which raises questions about what went wrong so suddenly. The Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA, India's top aviation safety body, grounded the entire fleet of Boeing 787 Dreamliners operated by Air India for full inspection. International teams from the US, UK, and France joined the investigation. Boeing, the manufacturer of the aircraft, also released a statement offering technical support and condolences. ICAO, the global civil aviation watchdog, has asked to be involved as an observer in the investigation. With international pressure mounting, every angle is now being examined, including mechanical faults, software glitches, human error, and even sabotage. This crash has also raised serious concerns about the condition of India's aviation industry. Although Air India has made efforts to modernize its fleet, this tragedy has put the spotlight on maintenance protocols, emergency response systems, and pilot training. Many aviation experts have criticized the lack of transparency in previous safety inspections. Meanwhile, passengers across India are feeling nervous about air travel, especially with reports of other minor technical glitches emerging from Air India flights just days after the crash. The airline CEO released an emotional video statement apologizing for the tragedy and promising a full review of safety procedures. He said, "We cannot bring back the lives lost, but we will do everything possible to honor them by ensuring this never happens again." Financial compensation is being arranged for the families of the victims, and counseling support has been offered as well. But for many, no amount of money or apology can replace the loss of their loved ones. This horrifying accident is a reminder that even in our high-tech world, air travel still carries risks. It also highlights the importance of thorough checks, honest communication, and constant improvement in aviation safety. As we wait for the final investigation report, we can only hope that lessons are learned and that such a tragedy never repeats. The families of those who died deserve justice, answers, and action, not just sympathy. If this story moved you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Fluent English Power. We'll continue bringing you important stories that matter with clarity, care, and real human connection. Stay safe and see you in the next video.